It's October 2nd, 2017. And I wanted to comment a bit about the current cultural left and recovering from them. Recovering from the violent fascist left and leaving them behind in the dust, which is where they will be anyway, because for the most part they don't breed. And the breeding term is their own term, which I've decided to use for positive effect. They use it as a derogatory term, breeders. Those effing breeders is what they state. But the breeders, or the children thereof, will inherit the earth. So, from the Ku Klux Klan to Jim Crow to the initial FDR welfare, where he was working to exclude the blacks and then sucking blacks into the Democrat Party with handouts, free gifts from mommy state and daddy state, where the state is mommy and daddy. No Republican owned a slave, only Democrats. And then when it became politically incorrect to have slavery around the Ku Klux Klan, the Democrats continued being racist. Everything is race with the Democrats. And if it weren't for the concept of race, they wouldn't be able to get money. They wouldn't be able to get power. So they use race baiting as a way of getting power and holding people down, and especially holding black people down. So back in the day when Bill Clinton was philandering with an intern in the old Oval Office, I sent a letter to the White House and I said, I support you and people should not interfere with your private business. But I was a chump and a fool. I was a chump and a fool. And all leftists are chumps and fools. Well-meaning fools. Well-meaning chumps. They think socialism is the cure for all ills. To have the state be mommy and daddy. But they don't realize that's just a shadow of Marxism and a shadow of what happened in the Soviet Union, where it's a scheme and a scam where the unsuccessful punish the successful. And it's also theft of labor. Which is what slavery was about. So that's another reason why the Democrat Party is about slavery today, because they're still into theft of labor. They're still into racism. Their very existence depends on the concept of race and emphasizing racism and promoting racism. And their very existence is predicated on the theft of labor, where the state comes and at the point of at the de facto, and if you don't pay money, in facto point of a gun, the theft of labor. I go to work, I get money for it, the government forces me to pay for the socialist welfare plans of them and of the well-meaning chump fool Democrats. Now, I admit there probably should be a social safety net that helps people in true emergencies, but there's lots of people who use and abuse that system. And as per the increasing amount of people who are claiming to have disabilities so they can have an easier time getting an academic degree, they're taking advantage of the system too. The social justice warrior who receives money for such, he or she is gonna want to expand the scope of their office so they can get more money and more power. Leftists don't understand human nature. They don't understand that people who have the Democrat label assigned will go into government and be just as selfish and conniving and immoral as the rest of us. That's why you need to have less government. So the violent fascist left. The left was never peaceful. All we are saying is give peace a chance. They never wanted to effing give peace a chance. Just look at the children of these dumb shit hippies. The Antifa types, the BAM types. These are the children of the 60s hippies. So the 60s hippies have come to university, become teachers, and they've educated generations of young little chump ass dumb shits to be violent social justice warriors. The violent sociopaths and chosen forced outliers of Antifa and BAM. By any means necessary, wastrel dumb shits. So I've seen the videos where these people hand out deadly weapons at rallies for where conservatives want to speak at universities, publicly funded universities. Violent, wastrel, forced outlier dumb shits who show up with deadly weapons so they can try to kill people who want to listen to a conservative on campus. Well, the Second Amendment protects the First. So it's a good thing we have a First Amendment, it's a good thing we have a Second Amendment. But you might ask yourself, why are all of these leftists so fucking unhappy? Why are they so unhappy? It's because they've chosen a life path which leads nowhere. If you're a forced, chosen, abused, abusive outlier who isn't inclined to have children the au naturel way, you will be unhappy. You will be unhappy. And when these blue-haired, violent, forced outlier, wastrel dumb shits of Antifa get their deadly weapons in their hands, it's misdirected anger. They're blaming the wrong people. They should be blaming themselves. Blaming themselves and the death cult that they've been sucked into, the liberal death cult. So yeah, I pretty much red-pilled completely away from leftism, from the entire leftist project. Every single leftist dogma point is utter bullshit and will destroy lives. Every single one. The race hierarchy of group rights and group blames. Having the state be mommy and daddy. Claiming that conservatives are fascists when it was the fascists were leftists. The founders of fascism in Italy were leftists. And the tactics of Antifa are fascist. The tactics of BAM are fascist. The tactics of the Democratic Party are fascist, with the KKK to what they're doing today. If you force a company to do a certain thing in the service of crony statism, like what the Clintons did and what Obama did, that's fascism. And I voted for Obama twice. And I was out there banging the pots and pans when Obama won. Oh, yes, we can. Now I realize I was a chump dumb shit about that too. So I was a chump dumb shit about the Clintons. Now I realize Bill Clinton is a fucking rapist, and his wife is a rape-enabling, pay-to-play whore who whored out her office at the Department of State. And Obama spied on his political opponents, and he let Hillary slide, and Obama sat at the feet of the terrorist Bill Ayers and learned from him. And it's all kind of sucking in from the dogmas of the anti-American dogmas of Obama's own father and of people like Saul Alinsky and Howard Zinn. I think people hate America because America pushes against the natural inclination of humans to basically cheat each other and screw each other over. And America pushes against that by creating a system of checks and balances which calls out the cheaters. Cheaters don't want to be called out. They just want to screw people over and lie about it. That's the very essence of the Democrat Party, and it's the essence of Marxism too. The essence of socialism. Socialism is a Ponzi scheme. So if you're a violent dumb shit member of Antifa and the violent left, the best advice I can give you would be to first become a Republican. A Trump Republican or a libertarian Republican, much better than the crony Republicans. Much better than the crony Republicans. And find an inherently reproductive partner. If you're a woman, find a man. If you're a man, find a woman. Commit to them. Start a family. And commit to your family. That now rare, courageous act will put you on the path to happiness. But if you have blue hair, green hair, purple hair, artificially colored hair, that's a key indicator that you're on the path to dumb shittery and a dead-end life. Or if you're a member of Antifa, you're basically no better than a fucking Scientologist or a member of the Jim Jones cult. Fucking Scientologist or member of the fucking Jim Jones cult. That's the almost exact same thing as being a member of Antifa. So, you've been sucked into a dead-end cult. No wonder you're fucking unhappy. You're just as fucking unhappy as the terrorists who flew those planes into buildings on 9/11. Misdirected anger. So, all we are saying is leave fucking leftism, because leftism is fucking violent and a dead-end death cult. So these are the cultural things happening today. So wake up. Wake up from the stupid dumb shittery of leftism. And excuse my French, but when people are going to be violent, I guess it's time to pull out the the verbal prongs. It's time to pull out the verbal prongs and use the common vernacular, the common parlance of the street, to talk about in honesty about what's really happening. So I support Trump, the original Trump agenda, the agenda of Bannon and Gorka and the true patriots. Because I want the Western Enlightenment to continue. The Western Enlightenment Project, which came only as a result of the fact that the Christian meme set existed in the first place. So I agree there's no literal Christian God, but the concept of the Christian God was sufficient to have the better angels of our nature be more effectively expressed. That's the importance of the Western project. And America is the best example of that project. That's why you shouldn't fucking kneel during the national anthem. And so on. And why dumb shits like Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky and Bill Ayers and Saul Alinsky, they don't know shit about what the American project is. They just want to virtue signal to the dumb shit youth so that they can get power. That's the very essence of socialism. So if you're one of those dumb shit youth, you should red pill away from violent, dead-end, death cult leftism. All right? So you can have fun, but you need to do so by honoring our 1.2 billion year evolved history. Start a family. Stay away from the crony whores. Red pill to the truth of that the liars and cheaters and the sociopaths will try to take advantage of people. That's why we need honesty. And the Democrats are not about honesty. Not at all. Some of the Republicans aren't either, which is why you have to choose a narrow path. So the people of rural America chose that narrow path in voting for Trump. So it's not about fucking skin color. Who the fuck cares about skin color except for fucking racist Democrats? It's about meme sets which help humans thrive the best. And the Democrat meme set does not do that. It's a fucking dead-end meme set. The Republican meme set doesn't do it either if you're a crony fucking Republican, traitor Republican. I think the best one is a socially conservative libertarianism, which is also somewhat rare, but, well, rare or not, I think that's the best route that I can advocate for that makes people the most happy. All right, have fun.